Nathan Whatever presents Game Club, Episode 5.
Well, the game of this week that we're talking about is Little Rescue Machines. You can find this on your tablets and your phones, probably iPhone and Android. We've been playing on Android.
And it's coming to Steam soon.
Oh, it is coming to Steam. Oh,
yes.
Good. I didn't know that. Maybe I would have waited for the Steam version. Oh, well, we've
would have
done
made
it.
it a little bit easier, I think. Some of the
Controller, right?
Yeah.
Get to use a controller, which is a little bit easier than a touchscreen, I believe. So anyway, I played some. I kind of got frustrated out of it, but the rest of the game club really liked this game. So I'm going to give most of the conversation over to you guys. Let's start with Chris, because Chris, you were the person who
right, this was my pick, right?
Right.
All right, so I enjoyed this game because, like we already established, I enjoy games where you get to build stuff. And you can build all kinds of crazy machines in this game. So the object of the game for people who might be watching is to just go and rescue people with the little machine you make. So it'll be a person at one end of the level.
And for the record, I did not make that thing that you're looking at right now. That I think that's level 2, and it just starts with that, which would be cool if I made that.
It's supposed to give you an idea of what you could do if you put your mind to it.
Right. So you start at one end of the level, and you got to go pick up the person who needs to be rescued at the other end, and with the little claw. And that's pretty much the only thing you have to have on your machine, right? It's a claw to pick them up.
Oh yeah, the first level you can literally push them.
Oh yeah, that's true. To the safety part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where it gives you a little open space. It gives you a simple objective, even if there's some things between you and it. And then it's up to you to build a thing to deal with that objective, right?
Yeah.
And the real fun is in your ability to be creative and want to learn from your mistakes. I guess my problem was, after I made the same mistake about 10 times, I was a little frustrated. Jose, you
got to have patience for it then.
Yeah. Jose, you played the crap out of this game. So.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I did play a good portion of it. And
what level did you get to?
I got to the second world, the third level, I believe.
Okay.
And it's pretty good. I like it. I like those kind of challenges where you have to kind of overcome some obstacle in the map, and kind of figuring out and tinkering with your design, and then, making it to where you can actually overcome the obstacle and then saving it. I think that's really rewarding to me, at least, because at first I'm kind of like banging my head against the wall on this thing, but then when I finally figured it out, I'm like, yes, that was great.
Satisfaction.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And then I love that you can set up your own controls as well.
It makes for some interesting things.
Yeah, definitely. So you can set up your controls to kind of operate your design differently, so it's really great.
I was impressed with your ability to set all the buttons the way you want. I thought that was an interesting mechanic to the game.
Yeah.
On the video, it's not very interesting to watch Garrett set all those buttons, but when it comes down to like a mechanic for playing, that's pretty intelligent, pretty smart game.
I hope
design.
more people adopt that going forward.
Yeah. It's something I didn't learn while I was playing, but I realized Garrett in our playthrough does the same thing I did, and I should have learned, is that I was iterating too smallly. Like, it was like my iterations, like I was trying to get over this stupid mound, right? And I kept on hitting this rock, and I'd make small changes to my design that wouldn't work. And I was watching Garrett do the same thing I did, and as I was watching him and criticizing him mentally, I realized I realized you have to have the guts in this game to sort of go way outside the box, like scrap your design, do something bigger, go crazy, and go from there. I didn't dig in enough. For those of you who played much more of it, it looked like there was some kind of you have like a limited amount of funds. For building, and how do you get those funds?
Actually, I was playing that with that a little bit earlier. So what I found out is once you finish the level, on the bottom of the screen, there's this little countdown with all these like coins, I guess, or points that you can get. If you click on it while it's still high, you receive all the points that were on screen, but you have to watch an ad for a different game. So then once you finish the ad, then all those points get added to your account, and then you can use those points to buy like different things in the game, like better grappling hooks or better wheels and stuff like that. So it's really pretty cool, I think.
And Jose, based on that information, we should mention it's a free-to-play game, so it comes with some free-to-play mechanics, which is finding other ways to make money.
Exactly.
Are there actual microtransactions in this game?
I believe so. It gives you like 3 slots to save 3 designs, if I'm not mistaken, and then if you want to buy more slots to save more designs, you gotta pay $1 for that.
Okay. Is it possible to buy this game, like drop like $5 up at the front and just have a full version of it without ads or any kind of whatever? I didn't see that when I was getting the game for myself.
Yeah, I didn't.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so this is definitely okay. I sometimes when I find out I like a game, I like just that $5. Like I'll just pay that premium up front because I don't want any ads. I don't want any of the nickel and diming.
Yeah, for sure.
But not all games give you that option, I guess.
This game reminds me of a game I used to play on like those Flash websites, where you play Flash games.
Just watching you flip over.
Called Fantastic Contraptions.
Okay.
Oh man, it was so much fun, and it was similar. And it was a 2D game where you had to build something. You had a lot. You're trying to make it this. You're trying to make literally a rescue machine, so it gives you some context. Fantastic Contraptions was like put this ball in this spot.
That reminds me of a game I used to play, The Incredible Machine.
Yeah, it's probably similar.
Yeah, and
you could do like a catapult. You could make it like carry it to the spot.
Right.
You can make a counterweight where it just like flips itself over there. So I like that aspect of it, that you can create anything that you want.
What's that kind of machine called? It's a something Rorberg or
Rube Goldberg machine.
Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
When it's a bunch of ridiculous, disparate like contraptions that cause some outcome.
Yeah, super complex steps to a simple task.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could totally do that with this game. So I mean, I probably played here. You see, this is I think the second or third level. I'm still kind of in the tutorial stage really for the game. I probably got to level 5 or 6. And one of the things that I noticed I talked about when I was playing it with these guys is that the first few levels, even though this level takes me 10 minutes to beat, the first few levels can take easily less than 5, 3 or 4 minutes, and all of a sudden you get to one and you're like, "What? I've been on this for 35 minutes." Like, I don't get that. So that I'm not necessarily think that's necessarily a problem of the game, but I do like more of a natural progression in its difficulty
and challenge.
And I felt like for example, after I beat this level, the next one took 45 seconds using the same machine. I just grabbed the guy and pulled him in.
One of the funny things about this game is because people think differently. So I've seen people get stuck on levels that were really easy for me.
Yeah.
I didn't see people breeze right through things that like I had a real hard time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it might not be a problem of the game. It might just be the fact that you can do anything that you want, and it doesn't give you very many guidelines. But I did notice on this level, just getting right there, like getting over this simple ledge that you can't even really see, completely stops your device from going forward. So that adding that obstacle apparently makes it super challenging.
Having a hard time there with those propellers.
Yeah. But what I like about this video is it's a great example of what James said, that if you scrap it and kind of start over, you're way more successful probably than just trying to make small changes to something that probably was the bad machine, the wrong machine to start off with to begin with.
Yeah, it seems like this game would probably be well served if there was some kind of baked-in ability to share the fun you've had with your friends. Like,
yeah, that would be
like, look at this ridiculous situation I put myself in this dumb machine I made. Yeah, like something like a 15-second clip that could like just be sent over Messenger. That would be awesome. Because I'm having more fun right now watching Garrett's like frustrating playthrough than I was actually playing the game for myself.
Well, that's one of the fun things about games where you can build stuff, is laughing at your own failures.
Right.
This is one of those games where if you're like sitting somewhere waiting for something and you're playing it, you look like a crazy person because you're just over there laughing by yourself. You're just having a good time laughing in the corner.
Do you guys remember any of the crazy contraptions you made for this game? Anything worth mentioning?
Well, I mean, mine's not really that crazy. I mean, I just remember making a really long car with a bunch of wheels on the bottom. Yeah. And then at the back end, it had the jump kit. So I was going over a rock, but I couldn't get enough momentum going. So then I used the jump kit to get me some momentum going and then get over the obstacle. So that was pretty fun.
That's awesome. And
it was pretty ugly looking, but it got the job done. Yeah. That was my favorite one.
You'll see something similar here in a few moments. For some reason, the length and getting lots of traction, I think really helped you get over some of these obstacles. For sure. But one thing I like about this game is that I spend working with students and younger students. I sometimes, not that I'm not mechanical, but I struggle sometimes to connect with the kids who just want to spend like 18 hours building a Lego toy. It looks just like the cover of the thing. I'm not really sure what the point of doing that is because you can't deviate. Anyways, I can play games like this and we can play them together, and that you're learning something. You're learning an ability of learning how physics works and mechanics, and it seems like much less of a waste of time than some kind of game like a Kim Kardashian game or something.
I would like to add that it's kind of funny just reading the stories for each mission, because there's always this one friend that's always getting lost or getting in trouble in an accident or something. So you got to go in there and save them. And every time I saw the little kind of snippets of the story, it was kind of funny, and I would chuckle at them.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
Here we go. I'm trying the caterpillar method. I figured, you know what? My problem is traction. So what I need is more power.
It seems like it has the same draw and appeal as Little Big Planet had. Anybody here play Little Big Planet?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, Little Big Planet was all
Yeah.
about creation, about either making your own levels or developing context where other people had to make their own stuff to get through them. And it was that sort of build and mistake sort of situation. And with just enough control to feel like you can control things, but like a lack of control where all the hilarious can happen.
So you made all 8, like, what is this, 8 wheels here?
Something
7
like that, yeah.
wheels?
Nothing like an
8 wheels, yeah.
8-wheeler.
Powered.
Yeah.
So it's like an 8x8.
It did not work. You'll see that there's too much interference. So one wheel will kind of skip in the air, and that'll cause the other ones to kind of come together instead of So that did not work, but you'll see that in a moment. Little Big Planet. One of the things that was almost too much building. Like you could build an entire level that takes 17 minutes to finish.
You take up the whole island with your caterpillars.
Have you guys ever played World of Goo? That was on the Wii.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it was also, I think, different systems.
Yeah, I had it on the on my tablet.
Yeah. That was so much fun. One of the things you could do is you could try to do this as simply as possible. The World of Goo would have been as few components as possible, or you can try to use every single one of them and get really complex.
And depending on how many you use, it affected your score, right?
Right. Yeah. If you use less, you got more points at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was great.
I don't think the same system in this game, but the same idea that I would think once you see the successful design that I do, it's very simple. I mean, even more simple than probably the very first thing I tried was using the same car, but the winning design in this level is as simple as the second thing that I tried, but just a different direction.
So you're just overthinking it a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many propellers do you really need to get over a 6-inch rock,
6, apparently.
I mean, I think the first time I played this, I think I flipped and that got me over the bridge somehow, and then I just went from there,
You
So,
just controlled your flip better.
yeah, I think that happens. I think that happens a lot in this game. Like, I landed it, and we'll just go from there.
I do have to say, I'm pretty impressed. This is made by a one-man team, basically.
Yeah.
So to be as feature-rich as it is,
Yeah.
and as clever as some of the features are.
It has very good ratings, and when you find this game, Little Rescue Machines, on the App Store or Play Store, you kind of suggest other games that are similar, but none of them have as high reviews, and I haven't even downloaded any of those other games. So it says a lot about the developer if you can create a game, kind of categorized as a small indie game, but it's without bugs and very fun for people to play.
Yeah. Well, anything else to add here to anybody?
Well, one of the things that seems, and I'm not exactly sure, and Chris can probably speak a little bit more, it seems the developer is really involved in the game
Yeah.
and wants to get your feedback. One of the screens on the second or third game that you finish, it says, email the developer, gives him his name, or message me any issues you've noticed so far, and let me know how I can improve it. And it does it with a picture of him, looks like a Facebook profile picture or something, at his computer. Seems way more human than just a game made by a large company.
Yeah, this is the best kind of development situation where you have somebody one person or a few people who really care about the product and wants the feedback from the fans and wants to just put out something that people are going to have fun playing. And I like to reward people like that. And I think that was one of the reasons why Chris wanted us to feature it on Game Club, because it's nice to give back to people who have given us some fun, right?
Yeah, he is very active on Facebook.
Yeah.
His name is Papaonn Daniel. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. But he shares the whole story of how he developed it and kind of what he's doing and how it's been going for him. So if you look him up on Facebook, and maybe we'll include a link in the description.
Okay, this was not my idea. This was James's idea. No wheel on the back, Don't know what that was all about. So don't, like, what was I
The
thinking?
tail dragging.
I wasn't thinking. That was James's idea. But we're getting pretty close here to the successful design. I think it's the next
Keep
iteration.
running it until
Where obviously I need wheels.
Garrett refuses to let this video end until we see him win.
Well, I mean, I think we only owe it to our audience to show them that this is possible. Seeing that this is like the second or third level, they want to know that it
There were a
doesn't-
few levels before this. We just started after some of the major.
Yeah, the first
tutorial
level
stuff.
is just tells you put the wheel here.
Failure is funnier.
Yeah, that's true. Put a wheel here. Put a wheel here, and then
Garrett, why are you
go.
so awful at video games?
Whoa.
I just don't play them enough.
Nothing of it.
This is getting there.
Is this when you get? Is he gonna do it? Oh, are you doing it?
Look at that.
Woot woot.
What's that guy's name? Grab the guy that's lost.
George. Was it
George.
this time?
Pull him invisibly. Your grabber apparently works with the force field, as long as it's within 2 feet. And bring him to the safety zone. Look at that.
Boom! You've done it,
the
Garrett.
battery
You
is
finished
done.
My
the
job
level.
is done.
And then the game was created on the Unity game system, right? Or engine.
Oh yeah.
And it's on the free version as well. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty cool to kind of see a game that was developed like that.
Dollar
yeah.
bills, yeah.
Yeah, it's an example
Yeah.
of what, like, basically anybody who's willing to commit the time and effort.
Mm-hmm. And learn the how to do it pretty much,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty inspirational for me at
Yeah.
least. So, yeah, it was great.
Well, I think that's it for Little Rescue Machines. We're going to do our vote, but we're going to alter it a little bit because this is a free-to-play game. So here's the options, okay? Is this worth your time? Not worth your time? Worth the further investment for the microtransactions? So not worth your time, worth the microtransactions. Those are your three options.
Well, if you're telling me that it's only the most you can spend is $2, it might be worth it. I didn't feel the need to save any more machines. It would save you. It would only just save you time, because if you see, let's say you made a very complex machine and it worked for you and you wanted to keep it, you're gonna have to save it, and you only get 2 or 3 save spots to begin
Mhm.
Yeah,
with.
it's definitely
so.
not a pay-to-win game.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to spend the extra time to build it again, then you don't have to spend any money. So I
Yeah.
think it's worth it if this is the kind of game.
But
you
if you
like.
really, I mean, my principle is if I really like a game, I want to buy the extra stuff just in support for the developer.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you like this game that much that you would spend that extra few dollars in support of the developer? So worth your time,
Oh.
not worth your time, worth the microtransactions.
Worth your time. Worth your time.
Worth your time. That's yours. Okay,
Worth-
Jose.
Worth the time with the microtransactions, I think.
All the way.
Yeah,
Jose.
because I mean, if
Dude, that's your nickname. All the way, Jose.
because this guy did a pretty good game, and I want to see if he can come up with something great. See what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
And I think if you're the kind of person that likes to get challenged and doesn't give up as easily, I think you'll find a lot of enjoyment with this game, and saving your creations is going to be pretty fun as well.
Yeah. Chris, you want to finish us out?
I would kick in a couple bucks.
All right.
Yeah, I even pay $5 for this on Steam or whatever.
So that's 1 worth your time,
Yeah.
2 worth kicking a few bucks. That's a good end. See you later.